welcome to No Place Like Home. This program is sponsored by the Housing Finance Authority of Pinellas County in cooperation with Pinellas County Communication and the Department of Health and Community Services. I'm Karmen Lemberg, filling in today for Catherine Driver, and with me is Jane Muhrlin, your other host for today's show. Hello, Jane. How are you today?
I'm doing well, and it's so nice to have you here.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
We've got a great show, and I'm very pleased to be able to join you today on WRXB 1590 AM and Pinellas County Connection TV. We've got a really informative program today talking about the home buying process, which, Karmen, I know that you're going to help us understand. You're going to kind of do double duty here today. And we're also going to look at the option of purchasing a community land trust, which may be a new concept for some of our audience who are tuning in today. And in a few minutes, we'll be joined by Sheri Harris. She's the Chief Operating Officer with Bright Community Trust. So this would be a good time to make sure that you have a pen and paper handy so that you can jot down some important information. But before we get into today's topic, I want to make sure that we hear from Karmen. She's got an update from the Housing Finance Authority of Pinellas County. Karmen?
Thanks, Jane. The Housing Finance Authority of Pinellas County is offering the First-Time Homebuyers Program, your key to home ownership, helping people in Pinellas, Pasco, and Polk counties make their dreams of home ownership a reality. The First-Time Homebuyers Program is for individuals who have never owned a home, have not owned a home in the last 3 years, or are veterans. The HFA offers a low rate on its 30-year fixed-rate mortgage, and if you need a little help with down payment and closing costs, we can help you with that also with our Home Key Second Mortgage. To get your key to home ownership, you can visit our website at www.pinellascounty.org/HFA, as in Housing Finance Authority. Go to the website, look at our lenders, contact one of them. They'll walk you right through the program. To reach us for more information or comments about the show, you can call us at 727-223-6419, or you can email us at newhome@pinellashfa.com. You can also watch past shows on the website or catch us on YouTube. Jane?
Thank you, Karmen, for that great information. And, you know, we've talked before on the program how so many times people have the money to pay the mortgage each month on a home, but they may not have quite enough money to do the down payment or closing costs. And that's where programs like yours come in and really help people get over that hurdle that may be preventing them from home ownership.
That's true. And our program, we do offer a really wonderful down payment program right now. It's $10,000 at 0% interest, and it's deferred until you pay off the first, refinance the first, transfer title, or cease to occupy the home as your primary residence. So it gives you that the money to get through your closing costs and your prepaids and your down payment. Because of the type of an organization we are, if you're doing a FHA loan, it'll go towards your 3.5% of borrowers' funds.
That's awesome. And, you know, it's just amazing to me that it is all at 0% interest rate. I mean, I don't think there's anybody else offering a program like that, is there?
There actually are some other programs out there. I believe the state right now has a somewhat similar program. And the good thing about our program is most of our lenders are in multiple programs, and they're going to work with you and put you in the best program for where your house is located and what you need.
And that's a good point, because perhaps your program might not be the best fit for the individual, but your lenders can help them find the right fit for their needs.
Exactly.
Very important. Before we get into today's show, I also want to make mention that for those who may be needing to get Affordable Care Act insurance, open enrollment is currently going on, and we want to encourage people, if you haven't already done so and are in need of signing up for the program, which is very important, we have navigators here in Pinellas County who can assist you with that. And you can go onto the county's website at pinellascounty.org and do a search for the navigators, and they will assist you. And Karmen, they even have folks who speak Spanish, French, and Creole who can help residents who might need some assistance in signing up for the insurance plans.
Oh, Jane, that's fantastic. That's great news.
Good program. So we want to make sure we get that in, and don't delay on that. That's very important.
Yes, it is.
So we've got a couple of guests today who are going to provide information on how to purchase a traditional home, as well as another great option for home buyers, which is a community land trust. My guest co-host, Karmen Lemberg with the Housing Finance Authority, is going to discuss the home buying process, and Sheri Harris, again, is the Chief Operating Officer with Bright Community Trust, and she's going to provide information about land trust homes, something that might be a little bit new for some of the folks tuning in today. So welcome and thank you for both being here, Karmen and Sheri.
Thank you.
Karmen, we're going to go ahead and start with you. Buying a home is probably the most important and certainly probably the most expensive purchase that somebody's going to make in their lifetime. And it can also be confusing. There's a lot of details. There's a lot of paperwork involved. So what would you say should be the first step for somebody who's thinking about buying a home? Maybe they're kind of on the fence at this point. They're not really sure which way they want to go. What advice do you have?
Jane, that's really good. The first thing I recommend for the first-time home buyer is to get yourself registered for the new home buyer education class. They can go to our website, which is, again, pinellascounty.org/HFA. And on our website, I have a schedule of some of the classes offered in our area. And that class is going to walk the home buyers through the process they're about to embark on, let them know how to prepare to meet with a lender, talk to them about budgeting, talk to them about the difference between owning and renting, which is a big thing right there when you're making that first step. And it takes some of the scariness, I guess I'll say, out of the process, because then they are more educated and they can meet with the lender and understand what they're talking about, meet with the realtor, and really be a part of the process and not let the process just drive them. They then can control their destiny, and that is the most important thing.
I think the class is such a critical step. Now, I know it's a requirement for your program and other programs that offer down payment assistance, right?
It is a requirement, but even if you don't come through our program, if you're a first-time home buyer, it is so worth your time to get educated and to understand and make sure that home ownership is right for you.
And hello, those classes are free.
Yes, they are.
So I mean, I can't see why somebody would not want to do that. And in fact, isn't there a certificate that you receive after you take the class?
Yes, you get a certificate, and that certificate is valid for 1 year. When you go to any of the programs, you just bring them your certificate to your lender, and you're good to go.
And you really don't have to be a first-time home buyer to take the class, right? I mean, anybody can
take the class. Let's say that maybe years and years ago you owned a home, but it's been a while. It's going to give you a little bit of a refresher course, get you back into the mindset of thinking about the home and budgeting for repairs and taking care of your investment and stuff. So it can also be good if it's been a while since you haven't owned a home.
Good point. Let's talk a little bit about lenders. One thing that always puzzles me is how do the lenders figure out how much home I can afford?
I'm going to break it down real simple for you.
Good. I need simple.
They're going to look at your gross income. That's your income before taxes for all household members that are going to be on the loan. Sometimes not all parties in the home are going to be on the loan, but whoever's going to be on the loan, they're going to look at your income, and then they're going to say that 30% of that can go towards housing costs, which is going to be your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And then they say that you can have up to 42% and sometimes 45% of your total gross income that can be for all costs. That's going to include if you have a car payment, a credit card, anything like that. And that's going to be how they decide the gross number. Then they're going to break it down one more step. Let's say you find a house you're interested in. You're going to want to go out on the county website and you're going to want to look at the taxes. You're going to subtract the amount of taxes divided by 12 from your house payment, And then that's really going to tell you how much of a mortgage that you can have. Once you figure that, then the lender's going to say, okay, you can go shopping for a $125,000 house or a $150,000 house.
Well, and that brings up another question, or maybe it's more of a comment that I would have. So that lender says, okay, you can shop for a $125,000 home. Yes, you might technically be able to afford that monthly payment. That doesn't mean that's what you should automatically target, correct?
That's correct. To just give you a point in case, when I bought my house 5 years ago, they gave me how much of a house I could go shopping for, and I already knew that was not what I was going to do. I had my target amount for my budget that I developed that I was comfortable paying for my house, keeping in mind that I knew my payment would be going up every year due to taxes and insurance. That's something you got to remember. Your house payment itself, your principal and interest, does not change, but your taxes and insurance are going to go up every year. So don't max yourself out up front. I wanted to keep my house payment at X amount total and not go over that, and keep my budget comfortable for me. And especially in these economic times where you're not seeing raises, you're not seeing income increase, you have to leave plenty of room for the increase in that, and also some savings to fix that house when things go wrong. So just because they say you can afford this amount, I would back it down and really look at your budget and make sure that you're leaving yourself enough room.
And I think it important also your lifestyle, and you may see a significant change because now you're the one who's responsible for the home, and as you say, it's important to save money. I'm looking at having to replace my own air conditioner in my house right now, and so you do have to have a little bit of a nest egg, if you will, on some of the maintenance that's required. Yeah. And, if you enjoy going to the movies or to dinner occasionally, that all really needs to be factored into your budget as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And at some point, you may need to make some decisions about some sacrifices. Let's say you're used to eating out, 3 nights a week, and you go to Starbucks every morning, and those things really add up. And you need to take that into consideration when you are doing your budget. I know years ago, when I was teaching a budgeting class, one thing that I brought up in that class people don't think about is how much a month do you spend on your pets, pet food, vet visits, and all of that. And people were not adding that into their budget. And that can add up a significant amount if you have a couple pets, and especially big dogs. Big dogs eat a lot of food. And you need to take everything into account. That Starbucks, that adds a lot of money a month into your budget. Maybe you want to take that down. Maybe once a week you treat yourself to going out for coffee. Or maybe you take down dinner to once a week. But it's what's important to you. Is owning your own home what's important, or is this important? And those are individual choices. And very important that you know what you really want out of life and where you want to go. Because buying a home is a long-term investment. It is not something that, okay, after 2 months, I don't like this. It's not what home ownership is about.
Mm-hmm. And it is really rewarding. I mean, it's a lot of hard work, but the satisfaction that comes with being a homeowner is really tremendous. Let's shift a little bit and get into credit issues, because I know that can sometimes make or break somebody's deal when it comes to buying a home.
Yes, and in the last few years, with all of the changes at the federal level and the new regulations that they have out, credit is being looked at a lot differently now than it was in the past. I recommend that people, if they're aware of anything in their credit, they get with some of the nonprofits in their area. They will do credit counseling, again, for free. Please do not get caught up with people who want you to pay them money to fix your credit. There's lots of people at nonprofits who do it for free. Our guest here today, Sheri Harris, her company happens to be one of those that does credit counseling for free.
Oh, excellent. Great.
And
great.
They have a great person on staff to help people with that. And we require a 640 credit score for our program, and most programs require that. There are some lenders who, if you're not going through a program like ours, who can do lower credit, but you will, even in these times, experience a higher rate on your mortgage the lower your credit score is, because you are considered a risk. Get with these people, fix your credit. It's free. It may take up to a year, But then you can clear all that stuff off. They now do look at medical. Before they really didn't look at medical. A lot of them look at medical now. They have to. They look at your cell phone. They're going to look at your internet, because those are three things that really seem to tie people up. Another thing that's been coming into play now is your rental history. If you have not been making your rent on time, and they go to where your apartment is and they do a pull with them and say, how are they on their rent? And if you haven't been paying your rent, that's really going to be a big challenge for you to get a mortgage, because they're going to say if they can't make their rent, why are they going to make their mortgage?
Very, very good advice, Karmen. Let's look now at home inspections. I know for me, I always found that to be a very important step in the process. So tell us about home inspections. Are they required?
They are not required. I just strongly, strongly recommend them. Again, I'm going to tell you something personal. I went out to look at a house several years ago that we wanted to buy, and on the surface, this house looked just so adorable. So we had our home inspection because I believe in him, and he's walking around with us, and he looks up at the soffit on the house, and he reaches up to touch it, and his finger goes right through it. What these people had done was they had put a fresh coat of paint over everything to try to hide a lot of the damages in the house. They had tried to cover up the cracks that were in the block. These guys know how to find these things, where I was just looking around and I just saw how cute everything looked. I'm like, oh, I want this house. And he's like, no, you don't. He found problems with the roof, which I didn't see. And keep in mind, I'm someone who is a little more familiar with looking at houses, and I missed some major things on this property. That's why it's so important to get a home inspection.
Yeah, they're the professionals, and they just have that eye to look for things that we're going to miss.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really important. We talked a little bit earlier about the maintenance, and I mentioned my air conditioners going out. What are some of the other key things that we need to think about when it comes to maintenance of the home?
Well, you really need to have pride in home ownership. Take care of the outside of the house. Take care of your yard. Little things, especially here in Florida. If you see mold coming up on the outside of your house, get it off. Mm-hmm. Don't let that happen. Don't let your sprinklers be always hitting against your house. Redirect them so they're hitting the areas that you're watering, not your house, not your fence. Also, because you don't want your fence to deteriorate any faster than they already do. All of those things help keep things working, even like your windows. I know my house, I have the old jealousy windows, and they're getting old and they're having problems, but there are places here that still sell parts for those old jealousy windows. If you don't have it in your budget to put in new windows right away, then you can find those parts, keep your windows working, all these little things. If your faucets are dripping, keep those working right, keep your toilets working right. These are small things. A water drip or a toilet leak can actually cost you a lot of money on your water bill every month.
That's a good point. Yeah, and too, we probably should mention the fact that, you mentioned landscape, and it made me think about the importance of maybe looking at doing some things like xeriscaping and Florida-friendly landscaping, and I know that Sheri's program looks at that strongly too. And speaking of Sheri, let's go ahead and bring you into the conversation. Been anxious to get you in to talk about the program that you have. But before we get into the land trust itself, tell us a little bit about Bright Community Trust. Who is your organization? What do you do?
Bright Community Trust, Jane, is a nonprofit organization that was affiliated in 2008, was created by the Housing Finance Authority and Pinellas County. So we have been affiliated with them for 5 years plus. And just in the last year, we've ventured out on our own, and we have had our first birthday. We're 1 year old. And our goal is really to provide move-in ready, affordable homes. We also want to our homeowners to be successful. So because home ownership is so important, and it's your biggest purchase that you're ever going to make. So we want to make sure that we're providing you with the appropriate education, things to be looking at as you're looking at that new home. So those are a couple of things that we do. We provide the homeowner education classes, and we also work on one-on-one counseling. If you're not ready for that home yet, we can work with you, as Karmen mentioned earlier, to try to get you ready for that first home. So we have a variety of things that we do at our offices.
And I would think too that there might be some people that you come into contact with that you're counseling, and they may perhaps come to their realization that, you know what, I don't think I really want to own a house.
Absolutely.
And oftentimes that could actually make them an even better renter along the way.
Absolutely. One of the programs that we have recently started is to work with renters to make them good, successful renters, because homeownership is not always for everyone. And there are some that just want to rent because of their busy lives that they have. They don't have time for all the maintenance and the upkeep and everything. So we work with them to help them be successful in that aspect as well.
That's so exciting. Now, let's talk about the Community Land Trust, because I know for some people who are tuning in, that's going to be a completely new concept. But what's interesting is that it's really not new.
No, it's not, Jane. That concept's been around for years. We have several community land trust organizations in Florida now. The concept has not always been around for a while in the state of Florida. We have several in southern Florida. Bright Community Trust is the entity in the central part of Florida that is the Community Land Trust. And we get our resources from a variety of places. And what those do is provide one-time subsidy for the purchase of the land. So in essence, your homeowner is purchasing just the improvements. The land is held in trust, and they lease that land back from us for a very small fee. And what that does is keeps it affordable in perpetuity. So when they decide 5 years down the road they may want to move up into a new home, one of the things that we're able to do is, because we have a pipeline of income qualified buyers, we are oftentimes able to help them get that buyer in place so that they can move on to their next home.
Very exciting.
With that in mind, are there any special qualifications to becoming a home buyer in a land trust?
Yeah, there are income qualifications, and it's based on the funding source. The current homes that we have in our inventory right now are at 120% of area median income. And just to give you an example of what that equates to, because they're percentages, for a family of four, you can make up to $68,900 and still qualify for that home. That's just a family of four, and it's adjusted by your family size.
Well, that's interesting. And we should also mention that the CLT homeowner really has the same rights and responsibilities of a traditional homeowner. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct. They have all of the rights of ownership, so they are allowed to have equity in their home. It accrues just like any other homeowner, so it's a long-term investment. I believe the land trust buyers actually have a little bit more of a benefit, because oftentimes a buyer purchases a home from a lender, and everyone goes away. That family is on their own. When you're in the land trust, we really become, I would say, a family, and you're a part of a bigger community. And so if you're that owner and you get into trouble, you have a job loss or something like that, we have resources that are able to help you, because the goal is to have you be a successful homeowner. So our staff is with our homeowners throughout their home ownership.
That's an amazing concept. And as you mentioned earlier, in traditional homeownership, oftentimes you close on the house, you get your key, and you're done, and you never see the lender again, only the monthly payment that you make. But you're actually working with these individuals on an ongoing basis.
Absolutely. We have a homeowners advisory group, so they stay in touch. We have annual events where they all come together, share things that have happened. The last workshop that we had focused around maintenance and some of the issues that families were having, and finding appropriate contractors to do some of their work and so forth. So it's really an opportunity to get together and share knowledge and really look out for each other.
That's great.
And I know the prices are really unbelievable. Give us an example of some of the houses that you have for sale?
Oh, I'm excited to talk about our homes. We currently have 6 new construction homes underway. They're due to be completed in February. These homes are 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garages, and they range anywhere from $150,000 to $160,000 depending on the location of the home. So we're really excited, and we'll have those online very soon. Buyers that are interested in new construction should know that if you are pre-qualified and are interested in one of our homes, in the next few weeks you'll still have an opportunity to choose colors for those new homes. So it really gives you an opportunity to put your own flavor in the home if you're ready for that home purchase.
Ooh, that'd be very exciting.
It would be. What other amenities could they expect to find in the homes?
All of our homes are energy efficient. Let me just focus a little bit on the renovations that we're starting underway. We currently have them available in Palm Harbor, Clearwater, and Largo. Our Palm Harbor home is priced at $168,000, and it's in a beautiful neighborhood surrounded by great schools. But all of our homes are, like I said, energy efficient. Typically, we always, when we're looking at a rehab, looking for the high-ticket items that a homeowner is going to have to replace and making sure that they're ready when they move in. So we're always looking at the roofing, the windows, and the HVAC systems. Those are the most expensive things that a homeowner will have to look at replacing. So we want to make sure that they're successful in having those newly remodeled when we put them in their home.
I know some of the houses that I have seen over the last couple of years that you guys have done have been just amazing, just amazing. I always love to look at the pictures of them and see what you guys have done with them. I love to go on your website because you have the houses up on your website, and people can visit your website and see what you've got available now, and also all your contact information is there too. And
Absolutely.
it's great.
Absolutely. You can go visit our website. We're currently going to have the floor plans for our 6 new homes out there in the next week or so that people will be able to go out there and get a feel for what the homes are going to look like.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That'll be a good place for them to go and visit.
Yes.
Would you like to share the rest of your contact information with us again, just so everybody knows how to find you?
Absolutely. If you're interested in any of our homes that we've talked about today, we're always putting new homes in our inventory. Please feel free to contact us at 727-475-1366. Any of our staff will be able to help you. Also, please feel free to use that number if you're interested in registering for our homebuyer education classes, which we hold monthly, and it's always the second Saturday of every month, with the exception of December. We usually don't have classes in December. They're fairly small classes, but you feel free to call and register. And also, if there's anyone that's in any sort of foreclosure issue, I want to just talk about home ownership. We have resources available there. Please reach out to us. They are free. It's all free, and we would be more than happy to help you through that situation as well.
Well, that's an important point, too, because you don't have to be one of the CLT homeowners in order to get assistance if you are in a foreclosure issue right now.
Absolutely not. We have received funding from the state. Those dollars are available to help families that are in distress, and they should feel free to reach out to us whether or not they're in our CLT community or not.
Is it restricted just to Pinellas County, or surrounding counties can come and talk to you?
Surrounding counties can come and talk to us. We do have resources in Pasco County as well, but we have been in touch with them, and we're more than happy to talk with those folks as well. The pool of funding that we have for Pinellas County is over $300,000, so it's just sitting there. We really do want to make sure that we're getting those dollars out to families if they're really in need.
Wonderful.
I had another question for you, Sheri, about the CLT homes and where they're located. Is there a particular area of the county that you have homes available, or are they all over?
They're really all the way from North County to South County. Our current inventory is the result of a neighborhood stabilization program funding that we received. So it is in pocket areas of the county. But as we continue to grow, we will be acquiring properties in other areas. So
That is outstanding. Well, I'm afraid to say that we're already out of time. And I definitely want to thank our guest today, Sheri Harris, Chief Operating Officer with Bright Community Trust, and my guest co-host, Karmen Lemberg, with the Housing Finance Authority and our sponsor of this program. Also want to thank our friends with Pinellas County Communications Department and, of course, WRXB 1590 AM. If you'd like more information or want to provide us feedback, we always enjoy hearing from us. Give us a call at 727-223-6419 or send us an email at newhome@pinellashfa.com. I'm Jane Muhrlin.
And I'm Karmen Lemberg.
Thank you for tuning in to No Place Like Home. Make it a great day.